When I was going to school a very long time ago, education meant books and study. Now I look back and realize that my experiences roaming the woods, fields, and waterways played a vital part in my understanding of the natural world. Now, as electronic devices are replacing books and virtual interactions replace real interaction, it is even more important for students to establish and maintain a relationship with the natural world. Fortunately, here in Sarasota County, several organizations have realized these needs and have stepped forward to ensure that students have a choice of many exciting programs. This is the Florida Field Journal. The Education Foundation, with the cooperation of several other foundations and organizations, established a website to act as an activity resource for teachers and parents. EdExploreSRQ.com features cultural and natural history activities that are approved for grant funding. One of the most popular field trips is to Sarasota County's world-class birding attraction, the celery fields.
My name's Patty Longo, and I'm from Lamarck Elementary School, and I teach 5th grade.
How did you get involved with this program?
I originally wrote a grant from the DipNet tours through the Education Foundation. It was an EdExplore grant, and I was able to get the grant to go to DipNet, and through DipNet tours, they asked us if we'd like to come to the celery fields.
On 2 of these activities, you will be using binoculars, and we will teach you how to use the binoculars when you get them. The rules about the binoculars are, number 1, as soon as you get a pair, put the strap around your neck. These are expensive, and if you drop them, you'll break them, and you know, it'd be not good. Okay, and the other thing is, do not walk with the binoculars up to your eyes. It'll make you dizzy, you'll probably trip and fall, hurt yourself, and break the binoculars. So again, binoculars around your neck, hanging like this when you're walking. If you want to look at something, stop.
You're going to want to learn how to focus. So this wheel in the center, right here, you take the binoculars off your eyes for a second. Look at this. This wheel in the center is your focus wheel. So there's 2 focus wheels, and then you get the combo that works best for you. All right? So everyone got that? Yeah? Yeah. Focusing? All right, the other thing is that, so what you do is, if you see a bird, let's say you see a bird flying overhead and you want to take a look, what you do is you look at it with your eyes first, without the binoculars, and then you just pull the binoculars up to your head. That way, you won't miss the bird, right? You won't be searching around for it, right? So you look at them with your eyes and then pull the binoculars up to your head, and you should find them really easily, all right? So I'm in front, and watch out for ant hills on either side of this. So limpkins have long toes. You can see their legs, and they have.
Why do they bend back?
Long toes. Well, birds that walk like that. That's actually their ankle.
Aren't their knees like that?
Their knee. That's their. Well, that's more like their ankle, and their knees are actually up here.
Oh.
But so their feet are very long. But so they have long toes. That means that helps them stand on top of vegetation that's in the water. You know, you can come to an area like this one day and you can have one kind of bird, and another day those birds are not even here and something else is in its place. You just really never know.
This is from an osprey, and you notice how this one claw turns totally backwards like that? That's so when have any of you ever caught any mullet?
Yeah.
This mullet is an osprey's favorite fish. Have you ever grabbed a live mullet? They're pretty slippery, aren't they? Kind of like holding a greased torpedo or something, isn't it? Yeah, and they're pretty big. So the osprey's foot is designed to hold onto it front and back, because he's going to swoop in the water, catch it, and then fly off, right? Okay, and then one of the interesting things that all birds have in common are feathers.
What kind is this stripe?
I'm thinking this is an owl feather because it's very soft.
Wait, is it?
And the thing about owl feathers is that when an owl flies, you cannot hear it. It's silent. You can sort of hear the wind going through this one. This one you really can't. The other adaptation that birds have for flight is that they have hollow bones. So even a really big bird like an eagle is really lightweight for their size.
It is the state tree of Florida, actually. It's the state tree of Florida, and it is a kind of palm tree. It's called a cabbage palm. That's a first. We have never seen alligators with it.
All the way over there. I can't see it here.
Farther back, there's a Chinese little guy in the water. Just tip his head. Yeah, so you see it.
Come right here. Look straight. Look straight right there. Don't you see that bump on the head? Go, sucker. Ow. Ow.
What have you seen so far?
Oh, the celery fields are wonderful. Even though it just seems like it's a wetland with water and birds, it's opening up a whole new world to our kids. Our kids don't get the chance to get to see, something like this. They don't get to use binoculars and look closely at nature.
The kids seem excited about it.
The kids are ecstatic. They love being here. You have to remember that the kids don't get out of Northport as much as we'd like to see them get out of there and to see different things. So this is a great experience.
You think you'd do it again?
I plan on writing grants all summer long so that we can continue to go on these trips provided by the Education Foundation.
What did you see this time?
We saw limpkins, we saw alligators, we saw a number of different birds. The kids were able to identify the different birds. And we've just been through one part right now, so right now they're playing a game, the limpkin game.
Poor limpkin got tangled in fishing line. Other things they have to
Do you think this would be important for all the other schools to do?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for kids to get out into nature. So many kids don't get the chance to come to a place like this and see nature and see what nature's all about.
We have a world-class, facility here, so it's only going to get better.
Yes, it is wonderful.
Thank goodness for Audubon and Sarasota County.
Yes.
Foresight.
Yes, Audubon Society and the Education Foundation and EdExplore.
Today I'm with Karen Fraley from Around the Bend Nature Tours. How did you get started in all this?
I was teaching preschool, and I taught preschool science, and my kids graduated from preschool and I couldn't afford to be a preschool teacher anymore. So I decided to try Around the Bend Nature Tours and actually do eco tours. And that was such a new concept 15 years ago in 1999 that I couldn't get people out walking. And so I went back to my education roots and started getting grants so that I could take kids out on field trips.
That's cool. What has happened over the years? What changes have you seen?
It's been really an interesting ride. Initially, I was getting very small local grants, and then I learned that I could match my grants and get bigger grants. So I was matching the Sarasota Bay Estuary funding with SwiftMud, Southwest Florida Water Management District, and got cooperative funding with them. So that was great for several years, but then when the economy took a dive in 2008, SwiftMud decided to stop funding education through the cooperative funding. So I lost, things shrunk again. I had to tighten my belt and get creative, and we just stuck with it. And as things are turning around now, we're finding more and more foundations are funding again. So this year we're going to have our biggest year ever. We have 181 field trips scheduled so far, and probably 6 or 7 funders. And EdExplore has been incredible.
That's so great. EdExplore grew out of the Education Foundation, but so many other groups have come into that too. The Community Foundation and the Patterson Foundation as well. So it's like almost a community effort, you know, to help kids get out of the classroom and realize what's happening.
Right, connecting them with the real world. And what I find is so wonderful is that we're in environmental education focused on science. We also do social studies, but the arts are such an integral part of EdExplore as well. And so putting these tech kits together was really a lot of fun. I didn't think about the arts being an environmental educator, and when we got the grant, they gave us, we didn't ask for the full amount, and they gave us the full amount and said, go and find a teaching artist. So we did. We found 2. We used Brenda Smoke, was a fine artist who did a lot of research and created the beautiful suitcases that we have. And we worked with Phil Chiocchio on getting videos done. So we have each tech kit has, on the jump drive, has a video that Phil produced so that students in the classroom can get a feel for the field trips. In the spring of 2013, Around the Bend Nature Tours, in collaboration with Sarasota Bay Estuary Program and the Sarasota County Natural Resources, received an expanded exploration grant from the Education Foundation. With the grant, we were able to create these tech kits because middle and high school teachers find it extremely difficult to get out of the classroom and into the field, so we thought we would bring the field and the field experience into the classroom. So we've put together 4 kits. We've got the Estuary Kit, the Orienteering GPS Kit, the Low Impact Development Stormwater Water Quality Kit, and the Scrub Diversity Kit. And each one of these is available on loan for 2 weeks in the classroom, complete with instructions and all the materials you need to run expanded explorations at school.
This is the first kit you brought out. What is this one?
Okay, this is our Orienteering Tech Kit. And so we have 10 GPS units, we have 10 compasses, a teaching compass, and instructions for all of the above. There are also teacher guides for different activities that you can use in the classroom and on the schoolyard campus, including one that involves birds that you will find on your campus, one that for mapping shapes, and all kinds of other really great background information. Also included is the Kodak PlaySport. It's got an 8 GB SD card in it that you can keep after you're done with your activity.
Now, I think that camera takes both stills and video.
Yes, you can take video or still shots, and it is waterproof, so you don't want to take it in the water, but if you're caught in the rain, you dry it off and it's fine.
Great. This one is mainly about in our habitat here in this area.
Yes, this is about the Florida scrub habitat, and it's all kinds of activities about scrub diversity. This is a plant transect. These beads represent different species of plants, and there's field guides to identify those plants. So there's a whole activity that goes along with the plant diversity, including the graph paper that you need in order to do that. There's a full class set of 25 scrub diversity, introduction to the Florida scrub. So those are laminated 25 sets. You've got colored pencils for graphing your results. Another activity is the Florida Scrub Jay game. So these are the game cards, and there's instructions for all the activities in your notebook. There's also a flash drive that comes with it, with all the worksheets that you can print out yourself. There's also fire, a prescribed fire. This is a CD with all kinds of other lesson plans that are available, and here's some set of guides for that lesson plan. There's also some books that you can use for references. So it's a very complete kit, including your own Florida Scrub Jay for the duration of the 2 weeks.
And you also have the camera.
Oh, right, and the camera. Every kit will come with the camera and the tripod. So, and keep the SD card after you're done to use in the classroom.
That's like a gorilla pod, where it's very flexible,
yes.
Wrap around stuff.
Yes, you can wrap it anywhere.
You can hang
Very
it
handy. Yes.
Cool.
Great fun.
Okay, great. What's
All right.
next?
What's next? This is our Estuary Tech Kit, and Sarasota Estuary is a really important habitat for us. And so we have gathered and collected shells and mollusks and egg cases and all sorts of things. There's a whole activity around that. We have a whole set of dichotomous keys for the students to identify. So each one of these has a set of, so we have crustaceans, echinoderms, fish, and mollusks. And also seagrasses. Seagrasses are very important. There's 2 or 3 activities. Teacher can collect seagrass that's washed up on the tide line to do the activities that are in this kit. We have the Mangrove Identification. There's a whole class set of mangrove guides, but we also have collected and preserved mangrove leaves for you to do the activities that are in this kit. So lots of different shell ID. There's all kinds of extra identification guides, and also a set of algae specimens that we've collected, so you can learn the algae that are out there in our ecosystem. There's measuring tools and magnifiers and a whole activity on Sarasota Bay habitats and inhabitants. So there's all the manipulatives you need to run your activities. So, and this is full of more of the background information. Class sets of everything.
I can see where this would be a very popular kit.
Yep. And of course, again, we have the camera and the tripod and the SD card that you can keep. So, and jump drive, they all come with the jump drive with all the activities available digitally as well as the hard copies.
Great. All right.
All right.
Now what?
Now, low impact development stormwater management. This is a cutting edge technology that is just being used in governments throughout the country. So what we're doing in this is learning how we can treat stormwater modeled on nature, using rain gardens and bioswales and pervious concrete, and it's just really, really cutting edge. So the kit includes 7 water monitoring kit with all the reagents you will need. There's extra reagents for you. So we've got the whole, this is the color charts and thermometers that go with it. Along with the water quality is a game called Fred the Fish. So Fred the Fish comes with pollutants that he meets as he goes downriver. So the PowerPoint that you get takes you step by step so that you can do the Fred the Fish activity with the PowerPoint in front of with your class participating. So that's just the water quality portion. We have an activity called Water Wonders or Incredible Journey, depending on where you get it, but we've got soil, lake, animal, clouds, stream, glacier, plant, groundwater, and ocean, all these envelopes with scenario cards so that your students will become water droplets and follow water through the water cycle journey. That's another one. Graph paper to go with our pollution activity. These are pollutants. So again, you're going to get a nice notebook that has all of the activities written up to help you run them in your classroom. Of course, the colored pencils that go with them. There's 3 posters. We've got watershed, aquifer, and pollution. So a lot of extra pieces, the pH scale, cold and hot water, molecule charts, just all kinds of great resources for your classroom to keep you busy for 2 weeks with your kids.
A lot of people would, just going back to the glacier water, a lot of people will go, we're in South Florida, why do glaciers affect us?
Well, glaciers are melting, and so their sea level is rising. So the glaciers that are on land that are melting and draining into the oceans are causing sea level to rise, and that's affecting us right here in Florida. So very important, absolutely.
Wow.
We're all connected.
It's really great because it really has been a community effort to make our kids aware of the world that they're growing up.
Absolutely, and I think it's really going to show in the results in our students who are our future leaders being very capable, and I feel a lot better knowing that they have these programs available to them and so amazingly well funded this year and for years to come. Dedicated funding from the all those foundations that you mentioned.
That's just great. Thank you so much for what you do. That's
all right.
great.
Well, thanks for helping me spread the word.
While having first-hand encounters in nature provides exciting experiences for students, it isn't always possible. The people and organizations of Sarasota County have made sure that the children of this community have the opportunity to interact with the natural world, both in the field and in the classroom.